welcome back to my channel. I'm Anira Harris and this is aniraharris.com. Before I begin my video lecture this week, I would love to remind you guys to subscribe my channel for those who are new to my channel. And this video is for one of my subject, FWS 421, Writing and Storytelling for Animation. Today's topic is digital storytelling process. Let's check it out. Let's begin with what is digital storytelling. Basically, digital storytelling consists with narrative, a story to be told, a storyteller. But the new thing about digital storytelling is they have this audio, the technical aspect, special effect to help deliver the narrative itself. Digital storytelling process is basically what we watch on the television, in a movie, film. So nowadays, the most popular digital storytelling process for animation is, of course, animation 2D and now 3D. What else? Motion graphic. Those are all falls under digital storytelling as long as it has narrative to convey a story. This digital storytelling has its own process. From this image, you can see there are 8 steps in producing a digital storytelling process, or in another word, to create an animation. As you can see here, step number 1 is to come up with an idea, which is a proposal. So at the beginning of my subject, you already come out with your own proposal. So that is your step number 1. Step number 2 is basically you need to research, explore, and learn more about the topic or the title you propose in your proposal. And then step number 3, you come up with a written script, which is you guys have handed over for your assessment, your previous assessment under workshop. So well done. Step number 4, which is you should be doing right now, is the storyboard or plan how to convey your story. So basically, step number 4, you need to sketch your flow of your story. You know what kind of action for your characters. You need to arrange all the looks for your story under the storyboard. And step number 5 is supposedly you gather all the image with the audio and create the video. So step number 5 is basically known as showreel. So your assessment for this subject stops until step number 5, which is you guys just need to produce a showreel whereby the image and the audio is combined together in a perfect timeline of video to become a showreel. Digital animation storytelling process, there are also few disciplines that you need to know, which is number 1 is your storytelling skills. This is a basic skills in many production of producing a story. You need to have this. You need to know how to pitch your story in a correct perspective, in a correct tone, so that your producer, your audience will get the attention of what kind of story. So storytelling skills, like I've been explained in my previous video, which is the skills require your body gesture, posture, vocalization in conveying the story. The next skills that you need to have is your writing skills, which producing a script to become a script writer. Discipline number 3 is the artistic skills. The artistic skills here is to know whereby your story need to be uplift over here, there's a gap over here, what is to be fill in the gap, and or make your story become more beautiful, so that it's very entertaining to be watched. Next discipline is computer skills. Yes, this is digital storytelling process. So So you need to have skills in computer. The next discipline or the next skills that you need to acquire in creating digital storytelling process is the production skills and the collaboration skills. The production skills, the collaboration skills, meaning how you work together in a teamwork, because creating in animation story or digital story, it requires a lot of teamwork, whereby you can't complete your animation by individual. Let's move on to animation versus live action. So what are the differences between animation and live action? As I always say, script for animation is different from live action, a movie or series or any live action script. So here's why. Among of the differences between animation and live action storytelling process, there are two major or two big differences between animation and live action, which is number one, in post-production. Usually for animation, there's nothing can be done to fix your story compared to the live action storytelling process, whereby in the post-production for live action movie, you still can fix your story during the editing process, whereby you need to add on dialogue or to record it back when you do the editing and you found out suddenly, oh, there's not enough action, or there's not enough story in this scene, the story didn't convey well, so you can plan and go out for schedule for the next shooting. But different with animation, you can't do that in the editing process. It's fixed to whatever you have planned in the script, so that is the only thing being visualized until the editing process, and there will be no changes. So that's why lock your script in the first place before you run your production, because if you still need to change your story in the post-production process for animation, it will require a lot of work. You need to redo the whole process, because it requires the storyboard department to change the storyboard before submit it to animation department, and animation department, if it's a new model, a new character, new props, the model department need to model new things, and they need to shuffle it again to animate those kind of things. So you see, there's a lot of process to redo the story for animation. So make sure plan properly your animation script. The difference number two between animation versus live action is that animation scripts tend to be longer from the live action script. Animation script is basically more uniquely visual medium than live action. So here's another example that I've attached under the notes. Script Matrix, the Matrix Reloaded versus Wreck-It Ralph. The highlighted part in your yellow is whereby the scene of car chasing. As you can see, chasing cars for live action is shorter. Perhaps you can describe in 1 or 2 pages, but the same amount or the same weightage of car chasing for animation, usually your script tend to be longer, perhaps 2 to 3 pages. Why? You need to be detailed. As I always mention, script for animation, you need to be very precise. You can't just simply put the car is moving, but you need to explain of how that car is moving and moving where. Why? You still remember when the previous video and I said there's a department need to visualize your script. Yes, storyboard department. So this is where your script need to be precise for someone else to take line by line, words by words in that script to be visualized. If you have a complex idea of story, or the character is a very non-realistic character, this is where you should decide this story goes for animation. In animation, all characters is visualized. You draw your own character. So when you can draw your character, basically you can draw whatever character that you want. Okay, a monster with 20 heads, or perhaps a guy walks with a hand, or anything non-realistic character, which is very hard to visualize or very hard to create a character, or to find an actor that can act 20 heads or something like that. So why not go for the animation? Because you don't have to find the actor, you just need to draw it, visualize it. So this is where that story is more suitable. It doesn't mean that this story can't work on live action. Yes, it may be work for both concept, but what I'm talking here is how to find the best solution. The beauty about creating animation story is that you don't have any boundaries in creating your story, such as you can go high up in the sky or go deep down the blue sea. Compared to the live action, you need to consider the cost of the technical for the production. You need to go out, or whether to shoot it inside the studio, and you need to create the set and everything. Perhaps the cost is higher to create than to create animation. So the cost, the process, the time frame. Why not go for animation, which is everything can be created inside the PC? Yeah, that's my understanding of how good a story for animation, or how lucky that we can have this digital storytelling process whereby everything can be done inside the office. You don't have to go out. But live action also have their own strength, their own privilege, or their own benefits. Okay, so what are we just doing here is comparing and knowing which one is suitable for animation and the live action. So I hope you guys can get the rough idea about digital storytelling process, and if you want to know more, go find the attachment of my notes via Google Classroom for topic week 11. Before I end up my video lecture for today, I would like to remind you guys that basically we got another 3 weeks to go before you guys submit your final project. Sure. So I hope you guys are doing well, doing on track before you reach the submission date. Okay? Until the next video, I hope you guys enjoy for today's video or this week video. And for those who are still not subscribing my channel, aniraharris.com, please do it so. Until the next video, see ya, love ya.